Hey everyone, it is OGG Ant back at you today after a long hiatus of busy doing crap, what can I say, but here I am. And today is a great day. For the past week or so I have been thoroughly enjoying the Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries open beta. Um, it is very limited in the scope of the actual game. I'm anxiously awaiting the full release on the 10th, a few days away. But I have been playing this one a bit. To be honest, it's gotten boring already because even though the missions are very challenging and you can't adjust things like difficulty settings, things like that. They are just basic missions, and I've discovered some things that help a lot. So let's take a look here. So this is the title screen for Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries. You see that we have four options here: single player, co-op, options, and quit. Pretty self-explanatory. I'll tell you right now, single player only has instant action in it. And when you click instant action, it has 5 scenarios, just 5. You can't change the difficulty settings on them. You can't change any of the parameters. It just has 5 different scenarios. And I'm guessing these will be the primary scenarios in the game: assassination, defense, demolition, raid, and warzone. As you can see, there are recommended tonnages here. Even though it says recommended tonnage, it's maximum tonnage. You can't go over the recommendation. For a Lance 400 though, whew, that's a lot of assaults. Anyway, so these are our scenarios: assassination, defense, demolition, raid, warzone. When you click on them, it's going to give you the little rundown. It's going to show you a picture of the type of atmosphere you're going to be dealing with, etc. Not much more than that. Doesn't tell you much about heat. Doesn't tell you much about how many enemies you're going to be facing, anything like that. It's just go in here and kill these people, right? Now, before I actually go any further, you'll see over here at the top there's a custom scenario. Does not work. Cannot click it, right? All we can do is accept and choose a mission. But I'm going to go back to the main menu to show you that there's a co-op button here as well. That said, when you click the co-op, once again, the only option you have is instant action. And when you click instant action, I was thinking that it's as co-op, you'd be able to connect to other beta players and do a co-op match with them in one of those 5 scenarios. But unfortunately, it's not the case. It leads you right back to the exact same scenarios. You still can't customize it at all. You can't even change the difficulty, like I said, elevated, high, and extreme. You're stuck with it. It's there. And when you do click accept, when you've chosen a mission, let's just choose assassination for the sake of argument, and click accept, there are no co-op players. It's still the AI, exactly the same as if you were in single player. So it's single player. Even though it has the co-op button, it is still single player. Now, before I go on, let's look at the last button on the main page. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a video on the actual game, the beta itself, and then I'm going to show you each of the matches so you can see how they work out. So look, we looked at single player and co-op. There's not much to them. Quit, we know how that works. Let's look at the options. Again, very simple at this point. I don't know if they're going to get more so. Arm lock, throttle decay, mini-map lock north. I guess I haven't tried it, but maybe you can move the mini-map location around. I do like the throttle decay, so that when you take your finger off the button, the speed starts slowing down, as opposed to if you click that off, then you can set a speed and your mech will just stay at that speed, as similar to using the number keys on Mechwarrior Online. Display, there's a few. I mean, you can choose whether you want full screen, borderless window, etc. Resolution, for some reason that's grayed out. I can't seem to change that. I can smooth the frame rate, yes or no. Not sure exactly what that means. I'm going to put it to yes, why not? VSync, no. You can extend the field of view of your mech as you could in Mechwarrior Online, if that's something you're interested in. I'm going to apply that. Sure. I don't know what that does, but what the heck. Graphics, again, you can set your resolution scale, view distance, the quality, etc. I'm just leaving this all, since it's the beta. I'm just leaving it as default. I suppose I could click auto detect and see what it says, but yeah, it picks the exact same things. Sound, again, just adjusting the volume, voice, music. I turn the music off. Obviously, it's after the first hour or so of playing it, it starts to wear on you. And then the controls, the sensitivity, you know, throttle up, throttle down, your keys, basically. At this point in the game, I didn't notice any consumables. That may come later on, but yeah, even going through the commands here, these ones, these landsmate commands are good, are important, especially when you're dealing with the AI, because yeah, if you just have them all attack your target, it actually works really quite well because everybody just, you know, focuses fire. But in scenarios where you're protecting something, if everybody's always following you, then there are areas that are going to get damaged because there's nobody there to protect it. So, well, there's not a lot of commands there, but in the main game, I'm sure this will get a lot more important. And yeah, gamepad, joystick, so you can do different things. But, so that's basically it. That's the entire game. So let's go into single player and instant action and take a look at how you actually start one of these campaigns or one of these instant action scenarios. Because that's all we can do. So what the heck, let's take a look. Alright. So like I said, we have the 5 scenarios. I'm going to choose assassination. It's an elevated mission, 250 tons. I'm going to click accept. Now you can go right into it and click ready and jump right into it in the default atlas and everything and just go from there. You won't make it, not with a 250 ton recommended tonnage and you with 1 mech. Not going to happen. You will get overrun or run out of ammunition or something along those lines. So the way it works, not a lot to click on here. So here I am, and I can customize. I can pick one of these, what is it, 10 people here. Okay, that's going to be me. That's about it. I'm sure later in the game there'll be more options, but at the moment that's all you get. Then we get to our mech. Now this is kind of interesting. So when you want to choose which mech you want, you click on the mech, and as you can see, there's a lot of mechs here. There's not every mech, and I suspect that will be due to DLCs and things coming out later. For example, there's no Piranha. You cannot play the Piranha. If you go to P here, there is no Piranha. There's a Panther and a Phoenix Hawk, but that's it. All right, so yeah, there's other mechs in here that are mechs that are missing from the comprehensive list, but again, that will probably come later on. But for now, we do have some of the classics like the Annihilator, the Atlas, the Assassin, etc. And you can either scroll through the entire list of them here, or you can click on the top here and kind of filter by the size: light, medium, heavy, and assault. So for example, in Assault, there's 5 pages of Assault, so you can kind of flick through the pages and do it this way. Or if you kind of have an idea that you'd like to run an Annihilator, just click over here on the left-hand side, Annihilator. And you'll see there's 4 variants that we can use: the 1A, the 1E, the 1X, and the 2A. And then you can kind of just kind of scroll over them and you can see what they all offer. For example, 4 medium lasers and 4 AC-10s on this particular guy. Here, what do we got? We have 4 medium lasers and 4 PPCs. LB-10Xs, small pulse lasers, you know, so basically you can go through and you can pick which one you want. So I'm a big fan of the Atlas. The BH I'm not a big fan of. It's got LRM-10, 6 medium pulse lasers and an AC-10. My preference is this K over here. He's got 2 medium pulse lasers, 2 ER large lasers, an LRM-20, and a Gauss rifle. Oh, I love the Gauss rifle. Unlike the original game or Mechwarrior Online, you get a lot more ammo per ton of Gauss ammo and other ammos, AC-10 ammo, AC-20 ammo, for example. So there's a lot more shooting going on, which I really like. So I'm going to pick the mech I want, which is going to be the K. So now I've got my K over here, and I just want to go to my loadout and make sure that he's got everything on there. So this is the basic loadout, where you can see your weapons, 2 ER lasers in the arms, Gauss rifle, LRM-20 in the torso, and the center torso, 2 medium pulse lasers. You can play around with painting your mech and doing all sorts of funky things with it if you want. At this point, like I said, this is still the beta, so I'm not going to get too far into coloring up my mechs, because it really doesn't matter. It won't carry over, I'm sure. But unlike you know, Mechwarrior Online, where you had to pay for all these things, at very least in the beta for the moment, you have access to all the stickers, all the patterns, all those types of things. As it's a single player and co-op mission game, maybe it's not gonna be one of those pay for all these extra goodies things. I think what we're going to be saving our money for in the game is upgrading our lances and getting more mechs and technology. But anyway, so you can totally customize like this. All right, so let's apply that and go back. So now I've got my wonderful colorful mech. I know which weapons I have, but what else does he have on him for heat sinks and things like that? Well, let's click up here to details. In details, this is the more traditional Mechwarrior Online outlook where outline, where you can see your weapons still and where they are. You can see the heat sinks, the Gauss ammo. As I was saying, Gauss ammo is 26 rounds per ton. So at 3 tons, I have a crap ton of Gauss ammo. So I've got all my heat sinks here. AMS, this guy actually does AMS as well. See, and you can max out armor, you can strip the mech and start over again, because over here you've got all your weapons and choices. You have your, of course, ballistics, energy weapons, missiles, etc. In instant action, it appears there's no financial requirements, so you can just pick and choose according to the weight and heat of your mech what you want. So it's completely customizable here. You can go nuts and make your perfect mech for the instant action, but I don't think it'll carry over into the main game. Right, so pretty basic. You have your weapons mode or your details mode. The other big thing here, other than your inventory, is the weapons group. Just like Mechwarrior Online, you choose which button you want to fire which weapons groups. You can also choose to chain fire if you want. And these are also changeable on the fly with the arrow keys and the control button as they are in Mechwarrior Online. I'm just going to leave these as is. However, I tend to pick with the LRMs the entire bottom row of buttons on my mouse. I have 6 buttons on the side. That way, I whatever position my thumb is in, I can hit that that LRM button. So there we go. So now I've got my mech all set up, done. I'm ready to go here. Now I've got 150 extra tons I can play with. So I'm going to add another pilot. Now, one thing I didn't realize at first is that you can adjust the pilot's skill level. Anything under regular, good luck. These are very difficult missions. They're not going to be easy. Once I discovered you could set them to elite, that made life so much easier. So now I have an elite skill pilot. Again, I can customize and see what I want there. Now I've got no mech chosen, so I'm going to go here. And what's this guy going to be in? Well, this guy... I'm just going to put him in a Cyclops. I don't know what the Cyclops has. I'm not really too concerned. 2 RM10s and 3 medium lasers and an SRM4. Good enough. He's a little missile boat. That'll be fine. Right, so now I've got 60 tons left, so I don't have a lot anymore. So I'm going to go with some smaller guys. Again, I'm going to make this guy tough. I'm going to go to lights. I want to throw a flea in there right off the bat, 20 tons. This guy is awesome. Flamer, 2 medium lasers, 2 small lasers, 2 machine guns. This guy can do a ton of damage if you play him right, and he's super fast. Well, actually, no, this guy's not super fast. He's only 97.2, but he's super hard to hit, and that's the important bit. So I'm going to choose him for this guy, and then for this guy, I have 40 tons left. I'm not going to use all of them. One of my favorite light mechs, I'm going to throw another light in there just for fun, is the Locust. I can't remember which Locust I was in, but man, oh man, did we do a bunch of damage. I think it was this guy here. 130 kilometers an hour. Nobody's going to hit this little dude. He's tiny. If we go back to the main page here, you can see comparison my Atlas and then my Cyclops. And then we've got the 2 little teeny tiny guys, the Flea and the Locust. These guys do amazing. They really do. I've played the Locust and done over 1,000 damage with it. So that's it. That's basically everything that you can do in the beta so far. The only last thing we can do is we can view the contract, and we can see that this is an assassination mission. We're going to go in, we're going to find all the dudes in this guy's command and all the lances and stuff, and we're going to kill them. We're under tonnage, but that's okay. We can go in under tonnage. However, as I mentioned before, we can't go over tonnage. So if I try to go in with an annihilator... Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, it will let me go over tonnage. Look at that. Not that I want to in this situation, but I was not aware of that. I did not know that you could go over ton. That may be something that they change in the next mission, but or in the full version. But yeah, you can go over tonnage. So this is it. That's everything from starting, choosing your mission, choosing your lance, your mech, and then you click ready, and away you go. So that is the beta. Like I said, it's very basic. This is the first part of it. Let me move along now and show you an actual match in my next video.